Hey, what's up my fellow athletes? Welcome back to a new video. Today I want to take you through a guide on everything that you need to know about cycling in Tenerife. Whether you are a seasoned pro or you're just a beginner cyclist, Tenerife has something to offer for every type of cyclist. So in this comprehensive guide, I want to take you through everything that you need to know to make your next cycling holiday absolutely fantastic. Because Tenerife is, spoiler alert, an absolute dream to go on vacation. Tenerife is the largest of the Canary Islands, located just outside the coast of Africa, and it boasts a year-round warm climate. Poof. Sounds like a dream if you are in Europe having a hard winter at the moment. With smooth roads and fantastic climbing opportunities, Tenerife has something to offer for most cyclists. Not all, because it can be pretty challenging, but a lot more on that later. We stayed in Médano, which is located all the way to the south of the island, and here we also rented our bikes, which made it a little bit extra convenient for us. Médano is a little surfers town with a very few but very good inexpensive restaurants and bars. And this part of the island is especially known to attract a lot of windsurfers. And boy, can I tell you, they have got some windsurfing skills in Médano. Much more than my amateur golf surfing skills, which I tried after a bike ride, but we won't go into much more detail about this. If you're looking for a place to stay, anything more on the east of Médano will be even more easygoing. And by that I mean that it's probably too calm with insufficient amount of bars and restaurants to really enjoy a relaxing holiday. So I think that you should be looking either at Médano or anything more west of the island to enjoy a good stay. The most well-known locations are Los Cristianos, Playa de las Americas and Costa Edeje. These three villages are grouped next to each other, and there you have a bunch of shops, bars, restaurants and anything in between, even nightclubs. So if that's what you're looking for, then you should definitely go to one of these three places. The restaurants and bars are a little bit more expensive than on the other villages of the island, so bear that in mind if this is of importance to you. And then you have all the way north of the island, where there is also located the capital of the island. The north of the island is a little more cold than the south of the island, and also they have a lot more rainy days, which of course makes the nature surrounding that part of the island a lot more beautiful, but it will also come with some maybe less than ideal cycling circumstances. However, if you are coming from Western Europe, where it is a harsh and cold winter, then this will still be a very big improvement on the temperatures you have at home. If you're looking to stay up north in the island, you'll have more opportunities to see beautiful scenic landscape with a lot of green than you have south. But I must tell you, from what I've heard and what I've seen, traffic up north is even worse than traffic down south. If you're staying in the south, you do have to move up around some traffic sometimes, but more on that later. But like I said, north of the island is even worse. So that covers where you can stay on the island, and my suggestion would be either Médano or anything east of that, and you can make up your own mind if you want more nightclubs or bars nearby, but anything on the east part of the island I think would be ideal for any cycling holiday. Where you are staying will dictate a lot on what type of rides that you can do. Since there aren't too many ways to go up the Teide mountain, and the Teide is the central part of the island, and I can tell you everything goes up to the Teide. But like I said, you only have a few routes there, so you sometimes have to travel a lot of kilometers before you reach the start of the climb to the Teide. So bear that in mind if you are staying somewhere where there isn't a direct route to the Teide. You will have to make a big detour to get there. And like you can see, anything on the south or southeast of the island has a lot of roads going up to the Teide, so you can switch around and enjoy different roads as you go up. But if you are located more on the northeast side of the island, there will be only one way going up, and if you are located on the north, then you only have one or two ways going up as well. Like I said previously, before you can get to the scenic roads, you have to endure some traffic. You have a big highway going around the island, which is called the TF1. So if you're cycling, be wary not to follow these signs because they will end up on the highway and you have no place as a cyclist there. Around this highway, there is a lot of traffic since every car or truck will move from the highway to the smaller villages via these roads. So if you're starting the climb of the Teide, you will have to cross a little bit of traffic first. The main roads in general on the south of the island are in very good condition. Almost everywhere is good asphalt and rarely do you have big potholes or bad roads. The views when riding are equally impressive since some of these roads have the best views I have ever seen in my life. If you go off the main road, however, it's a different story. Here you can have very mixed surfaces, some will be good, some will be horrendous, so be mindful when leaving the main road because it can get tricky and the roads can also get brutally steep, as is showcased here by one of my friends fighting to get up the road, and we only deviated from the main road once due to the pure brutal steepness of the climbs. Alright, now we get to the main course of this whole video, and that is of course riding up the Teide. If you start at sea level, you will be climbing around 48 kilometers before you reach the top. So it is by all means not an easy climb. So bear that in mind. However fast you are riding, you will still be riding uphill for several hours. The average gradient is around 5% during the whole climb, but most parts will be a little bit steeper since you have a part where it's actually downhill for a few meters before it goes back up. When we climbed to the top, it was never cold, as shown from this clip, but sometimes it can get pretty cold, so do take something to get warm. We just never experienced it, but from what I was told, it can get pretty chilly up the top. And if you're not really convinced with cycling up the Teide, I hope I can convince you otherwise, because it is worth every drop of sweat to make it all the way to the summit. There is some dramatic scenery, breathtaking views, rugged cliffs and winding roads, and every turn offers a new adventure. And of course, don't forget, after a huge ascent follows a monstrous descent where you can really go fast for a long time. If you are going up the Teide and you use the side on the south or the southeast, then these roads are pretty windy, nice, very good surfaces. And you also have two villages where you can make a pit stop to fuel up or get something to eat, which you will definitely need if you're going all the way up. The other direction from the east of the island is a much more straightforward road with very few turns and less to eat or drink, but I think you'll find one or two establishments which you can fuel up at. The other direction of the Teide I think will be mostly done as a downhill ride, since there aren't too many bars and hotels in this region, so I think it's less than ideal if you stay there for a cycling trip. I cannot talk for the whole north of the island because I didn't cycle that far, and yes, it's a pretty long way going from south to north, so it's not an easy ride to do. And when you're climbing, you are always looking straight at the Teide, so you see it far from a distance and you know exactly where you need to go to. And of course, the Teide is well known for attracting pro teams from around the world for training camps. We saw many pro riders, which is always a thrill if you see them passing by, like Van Baarle, Laporte, Vingegaard. This is of course always a nice plus if you're riding as an amateur on the same roads as the pros. All of the pro riders' teams, they actually stay in a hotel at the top of the Teide, and you can cross the hotel if you go all the way to the summit, and the highest chance of seeing one of those riders is probably around that region, since they start and end always there. So the highest chance of bumping into one of the pros is of course on the summit of the Teide, where the hotel is situated. Also, this is a very good place to fuel up on some drinks and food, since if you're there, you won't be seeing a lot of bars and restaurants anywhere nearby. So take the chance if you can. Alright, cycling in Tenerife is fantastic, but But there's much more to do than just that. There are plenty of hotel, water parks and beaches, so it can also be a great choice for a family holiday. However, if you're not a fan of climbing, I think Tenerife will not be for you. And by climbing, I mean climbing with the bike, since every road either goes up or down. There is almost no roads that are flat. And also the winds can be devastatingly strong. So if you're going cycling, I always suggest you look at the wind radar in which direction the wind is coming from, because if you have a headwind at the end of your ride, it can get pretty brutal. Other activities I would definitely recommend is either renting a car to go and visit the rest of the island. You have some fantastic villages like Masha, if I'm pronouncing this right, and north of the island is absolutely stunning from what I've heard and seen, with breathtaking nature parks and cliffs and all that. So if you have a car, then you are easily going to get there, which will be only a few hours drive around the entire island. If you're looking to rent a bike, there are a lot of options to choose from. I rented my bike with Bike Point Tenerife in El Médano, which was very convenient because it was also very nearby where we were staying, and it was super helpful. And no, they didn't give me a free bike hire to say this. Friends of mine have also told me about a few other bike shops they found very good, which were Bike Experience and Bike for You. So I don't think you should be hesitant to hire a bike from any of these. They have a large assortment of bikes, so I'm sure you'll find something that suits you well. So have I convinced you to go to Tenerife or not? I have enjoyed my stay a lot. The weather was absolutely fantastic, 25 degrees every day with a lot of sun. And the big plus was also that there was a lot more daytime. I mean, sun went up a lot earlier and down a lot later, so you just had more of the day, which is a welcome change if you're used to Western European winters, like where I'm from in Belgium. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel, because we'll be doing a lot more videos soon. This was a little bit off topic from what you're used to on this channel, but there will be a lot of more videos coming. See you guys in the next one. Bye.